So I have never been asked to show my ears in the Champions Chess Tour event or the Rapid Chess Championship event, which was in 2022.
Oh my
Chess
God.
Tour was in 2023.
I'm 100% sure that I've been asked on chess.com. Selective screening aware. I'm 99.99% sure.
In fact, calls you out a little bit. Let's see what he says at around minute 14.
I call him out. Let's see.
At this point.
Earpiece with a second person. You can't check someone's ears on camera. You just won't. I mean, first of all, they're hidden earpieces. You can't see it. And
what Fabiano is also saying here very clearly is he's saying that basically this is actually this feels like a real shot at chess.com, because Fabiano has played in the Chess Champions Tour, and he knows as well as I do that when you play in the Champions Chess Tour, you have to show your ears to the proctors. They ask you to show both of your ears. You have to put your ear right up to the device so they can see your ears. So he's essentially saying then that basically, even though we have to show our ears, that it's complete nonsense and it doesn't work. That's what he's saying essentially, which is very, very serious actually.
Let's keep going.
Show your right.
Okay, so once again, Hikaru is basically saying that you cannot hide anything in your ears because chess.com.
Well, I mean,
during the championship.
I mean, either you can't hide anything in your ear, or chess.com's earpiece. It's just security theater, and they can't actually see it. So it's one of two options here.
Where they ask you.
I assume he's going to say that it's basically that they can't. It
can be a webcam. It can be a professional camera. I don't know how seriously you have to get, how close you have to get to the camera with your ear, and basically how deep they can see in your ear. Maybe you can give us some insights into that.
Okay, yeah, again, quite a bit to unpack here. So the first thing is, of course, a lot of the earpieces are invisible. So you won't see anything even in person. And that's why very often they're using detectors on the ear, like Champions Chess Tour. They were like using the nonlinear junction scanner to go near the ear to see if there's something there. They weren't looking inside.
But just to clarify, this was in the over the board events. This is for the finals.
Yeah. So I have never been asked to show my ears in the Champions Chess Tour event or the Rapid Chess Championship event, which was in 2022.
Oh my God.
Chess Tour was in 2023. Never once. Now I was asked, and I don't know.
Oh my! What the?
Seen up events, or maybe he just has different experience. Both are possible. But in the Magnus Tour, I forget exactly what they were called, but they were on Chess 24 before the merger. Played in some events where they asked for that.
Oh no! Wait a second. I'm sorry, I have to stop for a second. I've definitely been asked. Yes, I mean, I assume what he's going to say is I'm confusing the two events, but I have been asked. I'm 100% sure that I've been asked on chess.com. Selective screening aware. I'm 99.99% sure. Does this mean does this mean the rules are not the same across the board? Uh-oh.
That. And the reason they asked for that is because a lot of the players who were involved were concerned that other players were cheating, and they wanted to up the measures. And this is one of the measures that they upped, if you want to call it a measure. And this already shows that there was a lot of suspicion among top players against top players, because these Magnus Tour events were all top players. Now, I'm not saying that any of the players were cheating, but there were suspicions. And this was a direct result of that. But
selective.
Events, I never got once asked. Now, I'm not saying that Hikaru is wrong, because maybe he was asked, or maybe other players were. But personally, I never got asked. I don't think it actually does anything. And I'll just give another example. Even if you could see an earpiece. Now, what they usually do, and this is actually not just for earpieces, but it's generally applicable, is that they ask you to, at least for me, they ask to do a room sweep and to turn on your cameras, to do screen share, to show all parts of the room. You have a camera behind you. Let's say I have a camera right there. I have this webcam in front of me that shows the back part you can see. Now, after I do that, the tournament doesn't start immediately. I am free to go out and about until the tournament begins. This is in all cases the case. So of course they can't tell you, well, now you have 20 minutes until the tournament starts, you can't use the bathroom, right? So once I show them stuff, I can just change things around. Like, imagine if I had to show my ears. Okay, I show my ears, I go into the room, and I put my earpiece in.
Sure.
That's one thing. Also, besides that, I can just change, like, imagine I showed my room. So there's nobody in my room. You saw the full room. Nobody's here. Okay, 2 minutes later, someone comes in. Are you going to ask me to, during the game, do a room sweep? Like, just imagine if my cheating method was to have someone show me moves from, let's say, my side here, which you can't see. You can't see it in the front camera. You can't see it in this back camera because that would show my computer screen. You wouldn't see my door, which is here. There's absolutely no way. And that's bare minimum, zero technology cheating with another person. Now, it might not even be another person. It could be a computer that I hooked up so that it shows my current board with the evaluation and so on. And I don't even need the move. I could just have the bar. It like helps me enormously. And a million other things. Like, I don't even want to get into every single thing that could be done. But the fact is that the room sweep and everything.
This is pretty. I mean, this is kind of serious. This is kind of serious. I mean, this is kind of serious, actually. Like, if the standards aren't the same, like, it's kind of disturbing, actually, if the standards aren't the exact same across. Where, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. I mean, I'm almost certain that I had to show my ears when I played one of the Champions Chess Tour events a while back. But yeah, this is. I mean, I'm like very disturbed by all of this. I am actually. I'm kind of really disturbed by this.
They're better than nothing, but they don't actually solve against someone who is committed to cheat. But the ear stuff, I just don't remember. Like, I've never been.
The only thing I would say about when he talks about like saying like you have another monitor connector or whatever else, the fact of the matter is, if I'm not mistaken, I think one of the reasons that back during the Pro Chess League, everyone was, I mean, I think it was Tigran Petrosian who they said was cheating. I think the single biggest reason for that was because he was literally looking down at his phone or something every like 3 seconds. And I do believe that, like, if someone, and again, like, obviously I'm never going to try this out, but like if someone were to try this out and literally try and look at moves, I feel like you would actually see it. And during these series events too, I think it would be very, very obvious. I really do believe that.
Since 2021, the last time I was asked to do an ear thing, besides the over-the-board Champions Chess Tour, online only once. 2021, I forget the name of what it was called, maybe Meltwater Champion or whatever.
They definitely did it during Chess 24 Days, but I'm sure I had to do it on chess.com.
I lost to Jan Nepomniachtchi, if anyone wants to look up the event. That was the last time that I got asked.
Yeah. No, I was hearing about it in 2021, and this was basically at the beginning when, especially in money events where elite level players were playing, generally there were not as many suspicions, but as, some results started pouring in, people started having questions. And then obviously, as you just mentioned, this is when they started asking for new fair play measures, such as showing
one of the reasons why was because in 2020 it sort of exploded, which I don't want to get into the case again, but everyone remembers the Pro Chess League from 2020 and that sort of mini explosion. And then in 2022 it exploded again, and everyone remembers that case because that was the biggest explosion that you could possibly have, right? It went to court. And there were minor things behind the scenes, but it's not an elitist thing. I just want to make that clear, because a lot of things online are like, well, this is just a player who thinks that he has to beat everyone, and anyone who outplays him is cheating. But it's not the case. A lot of the suspicions are about players who are equal or close in rating to the top in the world.
Yeah, I mean, and Hikaru has mentioned this quite a few times. Hikaru has mentioned this quite a few times. And I mean, we all know what happened between Vladimir and Hikaru, right? More recently. So,
but I'm not talking about like Vladimir and Hikaru. They're two of the best players in history, right?
Right.
I'm not just talking about. I'm not just talking about that. It's like it's across the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
It's not just Vladimir and Hikaru. It's not just 2300s. It's pretty much everyone is a suspect. I'm a suspect. Everyone is a suspect, and should be treated as a suspect. Like, not, I mean, we shouldn't be imprisoned, but we should be treated as someone who could potentially cheat. I include myself in that. That's why it's not an elitist thing.
There's also a big problem here. You know the big problem with this is ultimately you know what the big problem is? The problem here is that how do you get to an answer without chess.com showing the data, basically? That's the thing. How do you get, I mean, like, chess.com can't show their data, because then that's going to basically, I assume, the people are going to know how they can get around it. But if they don't show it, then you're going to end up in the same situation you're in right now. Like, it's a very, very difficult situation, honestly. Like, I don't know what the answer is to this, because everyone's a suspect. Vladimir Kramnik, yeah, exactly. Everyone is. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, how do you get to the ultimate? like answer. Like when chess.com says it's like 3% or 4%, like they say that, but they obviously can't show their actual data, because if they show it, then like people who people know how to cheat, I think. I mean, if I understand it correctly. So I don't know what the answer is. Chess.com can just show just the top players. I mean, well, but Fabiano is essentially saying that everyone's a suspect. So like that even already by that logic, it doesn't work.
The fact that there's opportunity and there's incentive, that's all you really need to understand that there is a potential problem.
Yep. Opportunity and incentive. Let's move on to another.
But see, this is also where I just to add another point. When Fabiano earlier was talking about generally speaking, now he's talking about top level tournaments. Like when he speaks about motivation or things like this, he has to understand that when you look at like the Title Tuesdays or the Champions, well, Title Tuesdays is not the right example, but you look at like the Chess Champions Tour, for example, what it means is that if someone gets caught cheating, their career is over. Straight up, you know, like if Nepo or myself or someone else were to cheat, our careers are over just like this, literally like this. And so when he talks about the motivations, like you have to separate the top level events from the general events and the general situations where people will just do it just because they can for a game and then like move on, lose a game here, lose a game there, win a game here, win a game there, etc., etc., etc. So that's the problem with is like I wish it were a little bit more refined, like straight up like this event straight up, like top level tournaments versus like completely separate, like it should be two totally different topics completely, in my opinion, because there's too much crossover and too much blur. There's too much blurriness. Too much is blurred. The lines are so blurred between what's being talked about. Important
topic and moment in this video of Hikaru. It's around minute 19 and 40 when we start talking about prize money in online.
Okay.
They're people.
Let's get forward. Is Fabiano? I've even won 106. Like I don't even like actually saying. Is he? But then.
All right. Okay. First things first. Are you implying Hikaru?
No, I'm not implying Hikaru. That's the first. Okay, so here's why I said I wanted to clarify. I'm not talking about just Title Tuesday. That's why, because as Hikaru mentioned,
this is
in just.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem with the whole topic, though. It's like you really have to be clear. You have to be very clear with talk just about one narrow topic. You can't talk about everything because then it all blurs together. Like this is the thing. He's talking about all the terms now. He's not just talking about Title Tuesday like Kramnik was. He's not just talking about Championship Tour. Like the problem is it's just you really have to focus. Like you have to stick to one narrow topic. And I think going forward, I'm gonna like when I talk about it, it's like you have to stick to one narrow topic.
Title Tuesday, nobody has won 100 grand. Hikaru has probably won the most, and it may even be close to 100 grand, but it's not 100 grand. And I wasn't talking just about Title Tuesday because I'm talking about the whole of online chess, and I'm not just talking about chess.com events. I'm talking about everything. It includes all the Chess24 events that were in the past.
Okay.
It also includes, sometimes there's some Lee chess events with a prize of like 15 grand. These actually do exist. They're obviously not as common as a chess.com.
Oh, is he talking about the Agad? He's 15K. Is he talking about the Agad Tour event where I feel like there were two players who finished near the top? I think that's the event he's referring to, the Agad Tour, like DeFi whatever thing they ran in a month or two ago.
And I understand that people maybe thought I was talking about Title Tuesday. I didn't clarify fully, but that wasn't my intention to only limit it to Title Tuesday. Although, of course, I think that Title Tuesday is where you're going to see the highest risk, just because the measures are pretty low of cheating. But that doesn't mean that's the only place where people could cheat. And people who have, just to talk about people who have won over 100,000. I think you have the top.
I do. Ranking. Yes, I do. Let's
have it like for all chess.
Let's move to that, and we can actually chess. This is online.
No, this is all online chess.
Yes.
No, not all chess. I mean, all online chess.
Yes.
This is online.
So, online chess, I think. Or is this just chess.com?
This total game is from chess.com.
Okay.
And the one on the right is from all online. That includes Chess24. That's why Magnus made 1.3 million. That's why Wesley made 843,000. A lot of that was from Chess24 events. Same with Hikaru. Magnus did not make 1.3 million from chess.com events. That's also from the Magnus Tour.
Let me move my cam for a second.
And so on. And so you already see.
This is pretty impressive, by the way. Like Magnus made 1.3 million. Good God, that's a lot of money. Jeez.
And you can keep going down. I think I counted about 26 players. I may be wrong. I think it's at least 26 and maybe more who have made over $100,000.
It's 12.
It includes me, by the way. So I'm not trying to implicate anyone in particular because obviously I'm in the list. I guess number 5. No, probably wait.
Number 4.
Magnus, Hikaru, Wesley are cleared, and then Levon 421. So I'm number 5. Is that correct?
I see you as number 4.
No.
With
Jan is
356.
Well, yeah, but you see, Magnus is 1.3. Hikaru
I see.
960.
Jan is 373.
Wesley's been bossing it up
Levon
too.
is 421 over there. And so maybe I'm number 6.
Oh, sorry. Oh, so the numbers on the left, this is chess.com and this is like chess24. That's why the number is so massively high for Magnus. It's because like all the Arena Kings, all the Title Tuesdays. This is why, you guys, pro tip about investing. This is why you know it matters. You just keep grinding, keep saving up your money, invest it well, good things happen. That's why you keep grinding. I mean, it seems like it's just $100 here, 100 there. Just keep grinding, and good things happen.
Right after Jan. Very close.
I'm actually kind of curious. So he made from chess.com Levon 100 and then total 421.
Chess 24 events were huge. There was a lot of money there.
Yeah.
So this was the chess 24 events. Okay, that makes sense.
Majority is chess 24 events. I think for Levon, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like so. I think the reason very specifically that Andrejkin is up here and like I'm up here, the reason we have such like is because when everybody was playing the chess 24 events, people probably forget, but you go back a few years, there was this competition between chess24 and chess.com, and I basically skipped out of the chess24 events. I started just playing on chess.com. I didn't want to deal with all the chess24 stuff. So chess24 events, sorry, chess24 events. And so like I think I made a good chunk from the Rapid Chess Championship, as did Andrejkin, which is why Andrejkin's number is so high here on this side, whereas everyone else was making all their big money from they were making their big coin from chess24 tournaments.
Yeah.
All of that besides and again, I'm not trying to implicate anyone because I trust Levon basically 100%, as close to 100% as you can get.
Yeah.
I don't want to say 100% for anyone because,
correct.
well, in general, I think that we should always maintain a tiniest bit of suspicion. But basically, Levon, I don't think that he would ever cheat. And the same with most of these players, right?
Yeah.
But that people have made over 100,000 is undeniable. If you go down the list, you will count.
I think what he meant was 100K from Title Tuesdays, and
Yeah,
I'm
but I
glad
didn't
that
mean
you
that.
clarified that.
He's correct here.
I did not mean that.
He's correct that I mistakenly assumed that he meant Title Tuesday, not overall. Jocelyn was there. Like Jocelyn was there. Yeah, I mean, but then like, what do you say? As I've said many times, I mean, I've heard Jocelyn's name before. Like chess.com can like say someone cheated or didn't cheat. They can look and that's that. I mean, like what Kramnik named Zhang just the other day, right? Or something like, I mean, he named Zhang, like whatever. Like let the actual professionals take a look at them. Like, yes, you see number 13, number 14 here. Chess.com will do their research and whatever. And I mean, I'm going to believe them. I mean, maybe Fabiano and others don't believe them, but I'm going to believe that chess.com because they've had so many years of experience that they know better. But of course, he could be right. I could be wrong. I could be right. He could be wrong. I mean, we just don't know. That's the reality. Who's number 15? That is, oh, that's nice. Hu Yifan, 81K, second best female player of all time, by the way. You know who's not here, by the way, on this list is Daniel Naroditsky. Daniel Naroditsky is not on this list at all. He's nowhere to be found on this list.
Just to be clear, but I think that we should talk about the prize thing because it's important. Because I counted among the 26. Some have been banned.
Oh, there's Daniel.
Back. I won't say who, but among these list of prize winners, not all.
Wait, we got to listen to this. This is a spicy bit.
All of them have remained unbanned from chess. And I think from the top 50, it was 4.
Okay.
The top 50 prize winners, I think 4 were banned and then came back.
Okay.
Top 50. Wow. Okay. Well, he. By the way, do you notice who's number 50? I just noticed for the top 50. That's like this. You know what? I mean, I know Fabiano didn't do this on purpose, but I'm gonna be honest. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, let's just take one extra number because then you can say 4 out of 50. Let's take one extra number. If you took 49, it might be 3, but 4 sounds a little bit more impressive, right? That's great. Actually, that's great. Can my mods send me the link? I need my mods to send me the link because I want to go through this list. I want to see who. I'm gonna run through the list very easily. Does somebody have the link? Sardosh is number. Sardosh is number 56 because he won Title Tuesday. Or not Title Tuesday, he won PogChamps. Andreas Honnett, also known as Sardosh, is number 56. That is comical. What is this webpage? Does somebody have this for me? Maybe I can find it. What is it? Top chess, maybe it's like top chess earnings online. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Here, let me pull up this link. Okay, let's pull this up. I'll just take one quick look. Okay, so top players, is this online? Yeah, here we go. This is the right list. Okay, let me scroll through this list and let me see, because like there's a chance, there's actually a chance that he has more information than I do on this. There's a chance. Let me see. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. 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 49 and 50. Okay, so 50 people. Like I don't know what the clarification is though, because are they talking about chess.com or all websites? Because for example, I don't see Roundx name here. Do I see Parham's name? I don't see Roundx name. Like I'm just looking at this. Like let me take a look. Yeah. What do we have? I'm just looking at this. Like I actually, as I look through the names, I mean, I'm not looking super closely. I'm looking super closely. I mean, they're only Roundx for number 18, right? But you say Roundx number 18, but Roundx never been banned on chess.com. Roundx, I think, was banned on Lead Chess, but he wasn't banned on chess.com. So is Fabiano talking about Lead Chess or chess.com? I don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about all websites. Okay, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So he means all websites. Like Parham and Roundx were, I believe, banned on Lead Chess, and we know who was banned on chess.com. So I see 3 names actually. I only see 3 names here that like if you look at Lead Chess or chess.com that I'm aware of. So Fabiano clearly knows something that I don't know. He said 1 is still banned in the top 26. I have no idea, but I mean Fabiano is saying 4, and I can only think of 3 when I look at this. So clearly Fabiano has more information than I do. He has more information than I do, clearly. Yeah, who's Flores? That's Fundy. He's a streamer, I think, who made money off of like PogChamps and something else. But yeah, so like this is like an example where you look at this and it's like Fabiano's saying a number that's larger than the number that I'm aware of. Like he's saying a number that's larger than mine. This is also why like this is why it's really tricky, because like everybody has different information everywhere. Like everyone's got different information. So yeah, so when I look at this list, like I'm aware of 2 on Lead Chess, 1 on chess.com, and that's it. Like that's I'm aware of 3. He says 4. So this is the thing, like everybody has different information. Not everybody knows the same. Oh, you're saying Ali Reza, but Ali Reza, we know that was Ali Reza was a false ban, right? That was a false ban. They checked his account. He was reinstated. So I mean, I guess if you want to, I mean, but like we all know that's being disingenuous if you use Ali Reza, because obviously it was an incorrect ban. Even Danny spoke about it and said that they manually reviewed it and he was not cheating. So I mean, I assume Fabiano is not using Ali Reza, so he clearly knows something that I don't know. He knows something that I don't know, legitimately, because when I look at this, there are 2 people that were banned on Lead Chess, 1 that was banned on chess.com, and I see 3. I don't see 4. So I have no idea. No idea. But again, like just let's keep going.
So that's a pretty significant amount, especially from the best players in the world. So that's just one thing. Yeah. That's the amount of people who have been caught, banned, and then reinstated. Mm-hmm. Right? And obviously one of those cases got very famous. But of course, yeah, most of these players, I'll say, of course, they're totally clean. But there is no doubt that players have made significant money, including myself, from chess.com events. Not just from chess.com. I don't want to single out chess.com. From
okay, so you're saying everything.
Events.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Lead Chess also has prize money events. And Lead Chess has their fair play system. I don't have much insight into it, but I would bet that they would also struggle to catch a committed, strong player who is willing to cheat in one of their prize money events.
Yeah. And finally, one more moment to finish up our reaction video is around minute 30. Cheaters.
Then is that actually? I think that's the thing Thomas said, but I think it's so ridiculous joke. I mean,
he's saying we should unmask cheaters. Chess.com should unmask cheaters, leeches, FIDE, whoever catches them should name and shame. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, I think that we're basically on the same page. I've also said this to people in chess.com, and I think that they're like, again, with chess.com, they're not the enemy. They're doing good work, and they want there to be zero cheaters, just like me, just like Hikaru. But,
well, I mean, I'll make a statement here. So like, this is clear. Like, again, just to give context, like we're talking about he's talking about top level chess, just like I am. I do not believe that you can ever stop cheating online. Like, if you're talking like 1,000 level players or beginners or all this other stuff, I don't think you can stop cheating, just to be clear. I don't think it's possible, considering how many people are on the site, considering how few staff members, I mean, the amount of staff relative to the total number of users. I don't think there's ever gonna be a world where it's zero. I think the key is trying to get it to zero as it relates to prize money competitions on chess.com.
But they're in a difficult position, because while I can say things without having the responsibility to actually find a solution, and I think it is important at least to talk about it, they actually have to find a solution. And so one solution that I mentioned is that, okay, you increase the risk. So you still have a different.
Do they talk about 2 out of 11?
But at least whoever is cheating, if they get caught, they know that they're ruined. Which I think is also ethically fair, because first of all, they would go into this with their eyes wide open, the cheaters. So they would know that they're stealing money, and they also have a risk to get, let's say, permanently banned.
Oh,
and so
Fabiano doesn't talk about the 2 out of 11. Okay, that's a little bit disappointing, but
what I would think is a pretty fair way of dealing with it is that it's a permanent ban until they return the money that it was proven to be stolen from events that they cheated in. That's one thing. The other thing is to just have a flat ban and a public statement that this person was caught, or like, let's say, a public sort of not a trial, but like some sort of investigation. So we determine this player is cheating. Now they can appeal, but it becomes public. So it's not like it remains behind closed doors. That I'm not going to name anyone, but there are players who are active in Title Tuesday making money who have been banned before. And people don't know who they are. And
wait, what?
Sometimes their name gets like.
I mean, we know of one, obviously. Fabi, actually, this is pretty wild to hear. This is wild to hear, because that could mean, like, the way Fabi is saying this, I think he's saying multiples. He's not saying this like it's one person. And this is also why I have to laugh, because a lot of people are under this mistaken notion that, like, I know everything that chess.com does, or this, that, and the other thing. Like, people like Nepo specifically think that. But it's clear that Fabiano actually seemingly has more information than I have. So I'm really kind of confused, actually. I'm confused. Because, like, we know of one, but who else? Bro said they must unmask a cheater, just tell the name. Well, I mean, that's the thing. You're right. Fabi says they should do it, but then he doesn't say the names here. Again, like, that's the thing. If there are people who've been banned, like, if he says it, then, I mean, he's more buddies with Danny and asked him. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Like, mentioned, but it's not really mentioned very publicly.
Yeah.
That's one thing. So it could become public. I think that returning the money is also a good step, and having maybe a longer ban.
Yeah.
From playing in prize events. So they can play on the website, but they can't continue to make money.
Yeah, and I think,
if you think about it, making money in online chess events is a huge privilege. Just being able to sit at your home, expend a bit of effort, but not much.
He's right.
Spend, and then make more money than people make in their job in a month, for example.
He's right.
It's
Absolutely.
a huge privilege. So if you abuse that privilege, I don't think it's unfair at all that it gets taken away. I mean, it's basically the least that you can do.
I mean, it's stealing.
Yeah.
It's literal stealing, right? You're stealing money from somebody else's pocket.
No, I mean, but you guys say nobody wants to get sued. I understand your point about nobody wants to get sued. But again, if you're going to make these big claims and not name names, it's like, why should I trust you? Why should I believe you? Just because you're Fabiano? I mean, it's the same thing as we get with the Kramnik situation too. It's the same thing. Like, I mean, if you're going to say this and not name names, then don't say it at all, is my personal opinion. I mean, and of course, my views on a lot of these things have shifted over time, but it's like, if you know that someone's been banned or something like that, and they're actively making money, I mean, say what the name is, because that is saying the truth. You're saying the truth if you say that. Like, if you get sued, you're saying the truth. I mean, I don't know.
Privilege, forget about how, let's say, physically easy it is to do so and how convenient it is from a job's perspective, but it's just pure stealing. So I mean, we have to address it. We have to deal with it.
Only chess.com can say the names because they're the institution. Well, if that's actually true, if only chess.com can say the names, then chess.com should be saying anything to Fabiano or anybody else, actually. Like, he may have signed an NDA for not telling it. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, he could answer that, but no, I mean, I suspect if I asked him quietly, he'd probably tell me, but still, it's like not. Yeah, I don't know.
Stealing. So I think Hikaru definitely makes a good point in this one. Name, shame, and I think chess.com directionally is moving.
But you know, there's one other big problem though here, and this is not about Fabiano, but the problem here with the whole like naming and shaming though is like if you do it publicly and someone challenges you, chess.com is probably gonna have to show the algorithm. That's actually the problem. Like chess.com then probably has to show the algorithm, which then in turn means cheaters will know what the algorithm is, right? So like the whole thing is very, very problematic. Very, very, very problematic. Like it's very, very difficult to deal with, because like I mean, if you do that and then it's like then the person's probably be like, okay, what do you have, and you have to show it, and you're just like, I mean, it's very problematic. That's all I know. I repeated that like 5 times just now, but that's the issue.
Those type of pastures, because
But
right now, yeah, go ahead.
They do have, as Hikaru did mention, an obstacle, which is that, yeah, they will be on the line. Like, I can say you should ban them, and it's easy for me to say, but they're the ones who potentially get taken to court.
But right now, I think every single time that you're playing a Title Tuesday or a money event, you're signing new terms of services. So these are renewed, much more, let's say, terms of services in chess.com's favor. Like they can do what they want. So basically, and I don't think you have the authority to sue them.
What the terms of service say is that it would have to be arbitrated. And I don't know all the legal details.
Bottom line is, on this topic, I think Fabiano and I should probably just shut up, because I bet neither of us have any idea what actual legal stuff means. I bet. But
I guess it makes it a bit less risky for chess.com. But it doesn't mean that they don't still have to go through a process. I mean, again, maybe the lawyers in our chat can. I don't think
Fabiano and I have a clue what it means.
Like you can't do anything. It's just that I think it gets arbitrated.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I think that definitely bigger punishments, like if you can't ensure that you catch all the cheaters, at least making sure that they take a risk to cheat. It lowers their incentive. That's the main thing. Right now, their incentive is so high. It's like you cheat, you make, let's say, let's say you cheat for half a year, you make $5,000. You get caught, nobody knows. You come back later, you can still make money later. And what's the downside? I mean, you weren't going to make $1 million if you were, let's say, a 2,600 player, but you made $5,000. Now you take, a few months break from making money, then you come back and nobody's the wiser at it. And this has happened. Like one of the things which, okay, actually, I'll get into one thing. So I read some of the Reddit stuff.
He's right, actually. He's right.
And a lot of people were asking me, where's your proof? First of all, I don't even understand.
First things first. Big mistake from Fabiano going to Reddit. That's like you should not be going there. That's like the worst place to go if you're looking for a serious conversation. Big mistake from Fabiano. That is a rookie move.
What they mean by proof.
And I think this is something that Hikaru is also mentioning quite a few times. He's like, okay, show me the proof, in response to Kramnik's allegations and so on and so forth. Show me the proof, but it's impossible to show.
Well, but like I can give you an example. Like I remember way back in, I think it was 2019 or 2020, I was I took a look at those games that Wesley played against Tigran Petrosian. I looked at the game itself and it's like a couple of the moves in that game looked kind of strange to me. They did. And I feel like if Fabiano really thinks this, there should be games that he can look at and he's be like, this move looks wrong or that move looks wrong. I feel like there should be, even if that's very subjective, there should be games and moves that he can be like, these moves, they don't look quite right. I feel like as a top player, there should be games specifically that he can look at where it's like he has a a reason to think that. And I'm not saying it's proof, but he should be able to actually explain that there's certain games that look wrong. They just look wrong.
It literally doesn't exist.
I don't want to get into the Kramnik and Hikaru thing because I don't think Hikaru cheats. So, but
no,
yeah,
it's not about Hikaru. Like he mentions, Kramnik calling out a few other names.
Sure.
I think he mentions Jospim at some point. And
sure, again, I don't want to mention any names because I'm not trying to accuse people. I don't have like 100% certainty if people are asking, do you have 100% certainty about someone? I don't have 100% certainty about anyone. But you would also not get 100% certainty about any case. Like
true.
People who think
very true.
Think about some like famous murder case that happened in the 90s.
Wait a second. Did he just talk about OJ? Wait, what the heck? What the heck? Did he just suddenly talk about OJ for no reason? That's kind of not normal.
Assume, but they don't have 100% proof, right? So our power is never 100%.
So basically what Fabiano is actually saying here is OJ is innocent. OJ's innocent, you guys. You heard it from Fabiano first.
Are you talking about OJ?
The other thing is, when people ask for proof, even if I had like 100% certainty, whatever that would mean to me, what do you expect me to show you? Like, do you expect me to show you someone's bedroom where they're like consulting a computer and I have it all on video camera and they're playing Title Tuesday at the same time? Like, what are they expecting? If you're asking about proof that people have cheated, I can tell you that that more than one player who has been over 2,700 has been banned. Now,
we know who that player is.
They might say, well, I don't believe chess.com bans are 100%. And I believe that the number is actually like close to 5. But okay,
wait,
whatever.
Whoa. Wait, did he just say that there are 5 people who've been at 2,700 who've been banned? Wait a second. Did he accidentally make a slip there?
Bans are 100%. And I believe that the number is actually like close to 5.
He said the number's close to 5.
But okay, whatever. Anyway, that doesn't really matter, but players who have been at near the top of the world have been banned cheating. So if we assume that is true, that they were cheating.
Oh, 5%?
Is
okay.
that proof that people do cheat, that people can cheat?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this, whatever. I don't know what he's saying there, so I'm not going to speculate on this one. I was saying 5 people or 5% or what?
2,700 and banned did not win prize money in the tournament where he was banned. And this is a fact. So is that proof? Again, I don't know.
We know who that's referring to.
Like, show you statistical proof. Anytime people show some numbers or something, it just gets laughed away anyway. So, and obviously nothing is statistically 100% because, I've had amazing tournaments that are way above my normal level. I've had terrible tournaments that are way below my normal level. If I was to win like the next 200 classical games, then you could say, yeah, that's probably proof that he's cheating. But in lieu of that, people don't usually just like decide to win 200 games in a row. Then what is proof again? Like if a 1700 plays like a 2700 in an event, is that proof? I don't know. There is a chance. There is a chance, right? And that's what people will say. For example, I lost to a 1900. This is in one Title Tuesday.
Wait, whoa!
This is a 1 in over 100 event, right? Like I think I'm expected against.
I mean, I agree with him. He's almost certainly right on that. But there is one issue, which is going to be an issue in chess for quite a while going forward. And obviously, we're going to stop in a second because I need to move on. But the big issue with saying 1900 is that there are currently problems with the ratings. There actually are problems with the rating system. Like I talked about this young kid from Russia, or Alista Kalmykia, Roman Shogdaziev, and he basically played a great tournament of the World Rapid and Blitz. He was beating GMs, drawing GMs left and right, and then he lost a couple of 1500 level players in the Asian Championships, and these 1500s did not play like 1500. They played like master level at least, if not quite a bit above that. So the problem also, this is a secondary problem, is that it's not really clear whether the rating system is actually functioning the way it should be, because we automatically assume the ratings are correct, and I'm seeing it everywhere. There's so mmany kids, especially from India, who are underrated by at least like 300-400 rating points at least. Like Dominguez played an 1800 kid who was not 1800 in Sitges. There was Nepo who drew a 2000 wasn't in the World Rapid. If that had been online, we know what Nepo would have said. I mean, it's very murky what's going on. I assume he means 1900 over the board. I don't think he means 1900 rating. He means somebody who probably was like 20th for 400 online at Title Tuesday. He probably lost that game, looked up their FIDE rating, it was 1900. So that's the one problem, is that, like, I would say that I think it still holds true if you're above a certain age, but if you don't look at the age and take that into account, I think it's a big problem still. I think we don't know what the ratings are for kids specifically.
Someone 800 points lower than me,
but he's right. But he's right. If 1900 is the actual rating of, like, say someone who's 30 years old, he's 100% right. That cannot happen.
We'll get 99 out of 100 statistically, maybe even a bit more. I'm not 100% sure. But so someone who's 1900, I'm probably going to maybe the score is statistically likely to be 120 to 1, maybe. I don't know, but it's somewhere in that range. But this is not proof, obviously, because if I
so I mean, I think we're going to have to move on to the bullet brawl. But I generally, like, most of the stuff he says, I tend to I agree with a good chunk of what he says. I mean, there are a couple things that bother me. What bothers me about this is that, first of all, it's very clear that he has more information than I do about certain players. Very, very clear on that, because, like, these numbers he's using are higher than the numbers that I'm aware of. So it's clear he has some extra information than I do. Secondarily, though, I really do. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be a way to name names. That's the thing. I feel like there have to be names. Like, if you're going to say these numbers are still there, you have to say something more than just, like, giving numbers. Because I mean, honestly, like, I could make the same thing with, like, the Hans thing that happened, where, you know, I ended up getting sued over that, and pretty much all my information that I got, it was not me speculating on things. It was stuff that had been told to me by other top players. So it is what it is. It's not beef. I thought it might be a little bit harsher, but I think in general, with what Fabi says, I mean, I agree with a good chunk of what he says. I do think that there is to be very clearly defined whether we're talking about top level chess, like top level chess over the board, top level chess online, or we're talking about, like, random open tournaments where masters, international masters, grandmasters play, or, like, even just random blitz games online. I think you really have to separate it. And that's that. Hearsay is not evidence. I never said hearsay was evidence, but I'm saying that, okay, but Fabiano clearly heard this somewhere too then. So then you're saying Fabiano's wrong? Like, what are you actually saying? I mean, that's the point. But if it's hearsay and you're saying it's not true, Fabi shouldn't be saying in the first place probably either. But he believes it clearly. So anyway, whatever. It is what it is. I think most of what Fabi says here, I agree with. I think actually the fact that he clarified a lot of things was pretty good, because I think in that initial one, it doesn't really. There are a lot of things that are said that it feels a little bit too blunt, and it's not as cohesive. And I think the fact that Fabiano actually did this react is a good thing, and I think most of what he said makes sense. Most of what he says makes sense, but you still have to. The names thing is always an issue, and then the second issue is always going to be, whether you're what level of chess you're talking about, which terms you have to define that, or else it all just gets mucked up. So